Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. I am here today to start my reading vlog for our March Mending Hearts book club pick, which is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Stasia and I started this romance book club and it launched in January of this year, and every month we read romance together. And it's so much fun, and we both vlog our experience reading the book club picks. So our March pick is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This book blew up almost immediately after it got released, I'm pretty sure. I did have the indie version for a minute, but I ended up selling it and getting the Atria version simply because when more books in the series come out, I'm gonna want them all to match, and my indie book will not match the rest of the series because Atria did pick this book and series up. So I have my copy with me. It's not quite March, but I'm doing my intro now because I know that as soon as March 1st hits, I'm gonna want to start reading this book because I'm so excited for it. I've wanted to read it since it came out, but when Stasia and I were putting this book club together and figuring out what we wanted to read each month, I did suggest this book and then, you know, reaped the consequences of not being able to read it until now. So we're reading Icebreaker by Hannah Grace for our March pick. This is a hockey romance about Nate, who volunteers to help out Anastasia, who is a figure skater. She's been trying to make it onto Team USA, which I believe is for the Olympics. Yeah. And they go to the same school, I'm pretty sure, and they have to use like the same skating rink. Something happens to Anastasia's partner, and Nate volunteers to help her get to the Olympics. So the back of the book says, "Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried because she can never like a hockey player, right?" I've only heard amazing things about this book, so my expectations are like through the roof, and hopefully I will not be let down because that will be a very sad day if I don't end up loving this book. But let's just appreciate the cover really quickly. Don't let the illustrated cover fool you. I've heard that this book is super spicy and that Nate has some very good lines that he says to Anastasia. So I am very excited to most likely add another book boyfriend to my, you know, fictional list of book boyfriends, even though it's already super long. So this is our March pick. I'm going to be starting it. My plan is to start it as soon as March 1st hits. That is my goal. We'll see if that ends up happening, but I do anticipate starting this one right away because I have been waiting to read it for a minute now. I am going to be annotating this book. I might write in it, but I'm definitely going to be tabbing it. So I've got all my tabs right here. I'll pick which like color palette I want to use whenever we get to March, and I'm gonna start this book and I am so excited for it. So yay! I will update y'all every 25% as I normally do with my reading vlogs that only consist of one book. Cannot wait to share more about this story with y'all and share my thoughts on it, which will hopefully all be positive. So I'll talk to y'all whenever I get to the 25% mark, whenever March comes around. Hello y'all, I'm here after several weeks in between my intro and now with my 25% update for Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I started this book 2 days ago during some reading sprints for the book club, and I've pushed through, I've kept going afterward, and I am now at the 25%. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but this week has just been a lot busier than I thought it was going to be, and reading in general hasn't really happened, minus this over the last 2 days, but I'm hoping I can finish it up this weekend because I have carved out a lot of time to read and focus on this one because I want to get my vlog out by the end of this month, and I'm afraid that if I don't just keep chugging along over the next couple of days, I'm just going to kind of forget about it and let it fall onto the back burner again. Not because, again, I'm not enjoying it, but it's a really crazy season of life currently. Some things have happened this past week that I was not expecting that have kind of like put a wrench into my future. Not my future in like the long haul, but like a very specific part of my future, like including where I live in the summer. So I don't really know what's going on with that right now, but it's all gonna work out. I know it will be. I need to not stress out too much about it. So I have been able to find some time though to read, and I did make it to 25% in Icebreaker. This book follows Anastasia, who goes by Stassi, and Nate. Anastasia is an ice skater for her school, and Nate plays hockey at the same school called Maple Hills. Very rich kids for the most part. Yeah, they're all like really beautiful or something like that, and a lot of them go pro after college because they're so great at their sports. Well, Anastasia is determined to go to the Olympics with her skating partner, whose name is Aaron. We don't like Aaron, just so y'all know. He's annoying. He's terrible. Yeah, but when one of their ice rinks in their arena gets destroyed, they have to start sharing their rink with the hockey players. And so she meets Nate, and she pretends to hate him. He's a really good guy, apparently. Like, he hasn't shown me anything that proves that he's not a good guy, but everybody is always talking about Nate in this book, and they're always saying how great of a guy he is. So, but she does not like him. She's not succumbing to his charm until she kind of starts doing that, and he's determined to like get into her good graces and become friends with her. Everybody on his team believes that he is definitely falling for her, or that he has a crush on her for, you know, that, yeah, he has a crush on her. But yeah, he just wants to be friends first because he wants her to like him. So while all the hockey players are like becoming besties with Anastasia, Nate is like on the back burner. He is on probation, I think is the term that Stassi used in this book, because he lied to her at the very beginning of their friendship to protect one of his teammates. So I didn't see it as like an issue necessarily. He did it for the greater good of their team and for their friendships on the team. And it wasn't like a lie that necessarily hurt Stassi, but it did piss her off. And since then, he's been trying to get back into the friendship zone with her, which will also hopefully turn into something more for them. So that's where we're at right now. I do have a lot of tabs in this one. I do really like the color palette that I went for, which is like this blue. I think it goes pretty well with the cover of the book. So we love to see that there's already a spicy scene like 70 pages into the book, which I was not expecting. I feel like a lot of books that like are picked up traditionally are very like slow burn, and there is spice in them, like especially for books like this, but I wasn't expecting it to come so soon. So I was like, whoa, okay then. Yeah, so that was fun, I guess. There are lots of really funny lines and moments and banter between Nate and his hockey friends. I love the bond that they have, and I'm excited to like watch Stassi and Stassi's best friend Lola kind of get included in that as they start getting to hang out with the hockey guys more and things like that. So overall, enjoying it. Not my favorite romance so far. I'm not like swooning really yet, but hopefully I will soon. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm sure I'll end up falling in love with Nate later on in the book, but for right now, it's good. Not my favorite again. Probably would give it 3.5 or 4 stars. If I had to rate it right now. But again, I'm only 102 pages into it, so you can take that with a grain of salt because my opinion will most likely change by the end of the book. So that's where I am on this one, hoping to read more of it today and get to 50% and 75%. So be prepared to potentially see me again later on in the day. But yeah, I'll talk to y'all in a little bit whenever I get to the halfway mark, and we'll chat some more. All right, y'all, I am doing reading sprints. Sorry, so I have lo-fi music going, but I did just get to the 50% mark in Icebreaker. I am, as I already said, doing live sprints, so I've got my laptop set up right next to me. You are currently sitting, my camera, you, whoever is watching, is currently sitting on top of 2 books and a big old candle. So my head is like kind of cut off, but I don't really feel like moving. So I'm sitting here to do my update, and you know, it is what it is. But it is still Saturday. I just made it to 50%. That is page 212, basically, in this book. And I am still thoroughly enjoying it. They have just made their agreement that, and this is like not a spoiler because it's like included in the synopsis, but Nathan is going to help Stassi with figure skating because her skating partner, who we don't like still, he's a butthole, a literal butthole, cannot skate. He is out on an injury, so Nate is like begging Stassi to let him help her, and she finally agrees to it, and now here we are. They are now officially partners, and it's so good. It's making me laugh, it's making me smile. There are definitely like some heavier moments in this one. Stassi does see a therapist who she's been seeing since she was 9 years old, so it's been over a decade since she has been going to therapy, and it's still very beneficial for her. There's a big talk of like mental health and anxiety and living up to your expectations, or like what you think your expectations are, especially when they're set by family and things like that. So I really do appreciate seeing that in this book. I think that this is a really good mix between humor and heart and like really good conversation, and I'm excited to see where it keeps going, as I still have 200 pages at least left of this one. The spice is pretty good. Nothing that I haven't read before, yeah. But I think that Nate is just such a good male character, and anytime he talks, I'm just like, I love you, if I'm being honest. Stassi is still fine for me. She's not my favorite female main character, but I do see growth going on within her, which again is cool to see. So I'm excited to see where that goes in the future, or in the next chapters that I'll be reading tonight. My goal is to get to 75%. I'm a little bit nervous because several of the people who are in our book club and have already finished it, they didn't love it. But right now, like, I really am still leaning toward 4 stars, even maybe 4.5 depending on where it goes. I don't know, so I'm kind of scared because nobody else is loving it, and I'm afraid because what if I end up not liking it as much as I am currently. But so far so good. 200 pages in, feeling pretty good about it. I'm excited to keep going with it. I will probably have to break open a new pack of tabs because like this one is half gone and these ones are all starting to dwindle a little bit, but thankfully I had the foresight of bringing 2 more packs with me of the same palette, so we are good to go on that. So that is all that I have, I think, for this update. I will be going live, or I will hopefully be going live until I get to 75%. That is my goal, at least currently. I have to take the little girl for a walk because she's got to go poopy one more time today, I think. No, I know that she needs to go one more time. So I'm going to go take her for a walk, but then I'm going to go back to reading, and my current sprint ends that I'm doing on my live show ends in 20 minutes, so then we'll chat a little bit and I'll go back to reading. So hopefully I'll be back tonight with a 75% update. It might be kind of late, it might not be very good, but that's my plan. So I'll talk to y'all later whenever I get to 75% in Icebreaker. I just got to 75% in Icebreaker. The book is out in the kitchen and I don't really feel like going to grab it, but I have reached the 75% mark in the book, and I think it's safe to say that I definitely understand the hype. Nate and Stassi are just beautiful together, and I'm nervous about the 3rd act breakup that will most likely come because, you know, apparently a romance wouldn't be a romance without that conflict at some point, but so far, so good. I cannot wait to see where it goes. I'm scared, but I know that everything will end up being wonderful the way that I, you know, love to see books end, especially with romance. I know that they're gonna have a great ending, so I'm excited to see that. Other than that, don't have a ton to say about it. I mentioned this in like all my vlogs, but you know, when you update 25%, every 25%, it can be hard to find too much to talk about, especially I feel like when you're loving the book, as I am doing right now, or as I am right now. So really not a ton to report. Love it. Stassi has grown on me. She's gone through a lot of growth since having her eyes open to some of like the toxicity in her life, and I think that she's learning from that and growing, and yeah, just like figuring things out and like what she wants in her life and who she really is, and I am loving to see it. So again, not a ton to say, but I do plan to finish the book tomorrow, and then when I do, I'll hop back in here one final time, give my final rating, my final thoughts, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will be good in my report back to y'all, but we'll see what ends up happening. So I'll talk to y'all when I finish the book, hopefully tomorrow, but I'll update y'all whenever I get the chance. As per usual, I have my mentally dating a fictional character pillowcase showing toward the camera, and it's not even something that like I really notice anymore, but when I do, it just makes me want to laugh because it's kind of sad but also like extremely true, so I can't be mad about it. But anyway, I finished Icebreaker by Hannah Grace last night, and against the general opinion of the people in our book club, I loved this one. I'm giving it 4.5 stars out of 5. There were some very frustrating parts, especially between Aaron and Stassi, that just like grinded my gears so badly and they were ticking me off, but I thought that this was a very beautiful book. It was funny, it had its heartwarming moments, it was sad at times, and I couldn't help but love it. So 4.5 stars for me. Definitely an unpopular opinion compared to most of the rest of the book club, but I loved it. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Chef's kiss. I just want to know what it takes or what one needs to do to find their own Nate Hawkins, because he truly is like the most caring and loyal and just best book boyfriend, like one of probably my new favorites of all time. I think that he grew so much as a person, like from opening up and being with Stassi. I just love seeing his growth alongside Stassi, who also grew a lot throughout the book. Their chemistry was off the charts. I loved the spicy scenes between them, loved just like the really cute moments between them when they were just cuddling and like having deep conversations. I loved most things about this book. So 4.5. 4.5. Loved it so much. Here are what my tabs look like now that I finished it. Definitely have a lot in there and I have no regrets about it. So this is definitely ranking and one of my favorite book club picks of the year. It's kind of hard because we've only been doing this for 3 months, but our first month we read 4 books. And I would say that this one ranks 3rd out of the 4 books that we've read, the 1 book that we read in February, and then the 1 book that we read this month. I'm gonna say that Icebreaker is my 3rd out of the 6. So like my top one, no, it's probably, no, it's definitely 3rd. So like, sorry, I'm just trying to think out loud. So we read 6 books for the book club. The first 4 were from the Priest series by Sierra Simone, and like my favorites are Sinner, then Priest, and then Icebreaker, and then Saint, and then probably Happenstance. No, probably Midnight Mass and then Happenstance. So definitely up there in my favorites so far, and it just makes me want to read all the sports romances right now. So I'm very excited that our April pick is also a sports romance. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it really fast so I can talk to y'all about the book and just give a little, like, I don't know, like get the news out that our next month's pick has been announced. I already do have a video up announcing the next 3 picks, but I'll go ahead and share what next month's is again. Also, before I do that, the trigger warnings for this book do include grief, anxiety, eating disorders, manipulation, sexual content, loss of loved ones, and I'll have the full list down below. I think that's it though, but just in case I've missed any, I'll have a full list down below, as I like to do when I can, when I'm doing videos like this where I've already read the books and can talk about them more in depth. So yeah, I'll have the trigger warnings for this one down below, but overall, I freaking loved it. I just love Nate, like truly. He is my favorite. So let me go grab our April pick really fast. I'll share it with y'all and then I will sign off for this reading vlog. Okay, so I have the special edition of this book, but our April pick is Fair Catch by Candy Steiner. This is another sports romance, which is great, but this one is football, whereas Icebreaker is hockey/figure skating. This one is brother's best friend, I believe. yeah, it's Brother's Best Friend, Forced Proximity, Enemies to Lovers. I've heard amazing things about Candy Steiner in general, but I've also heard really good things about this book from friends who have read it. So I'm so excited to get to it in April. I'm gonna tab it up so good again. I'm so excited to read this one, and hopefully it will be another successful book club pick, and then I can rank this one along with all of our other books that we've read. Maybe I'll start doing that every month. Yeah, and just like ranking the books that we've read in order, like from my favorites to my not so favorites. So this is our April pick. April is quickly approaching. It's already March 20th, 21st, something like that, as I'm filming this final clip. So I cannot believe that we're already almost 3 full months into the year, but we are, so that's how it goes. But yeah, yay, I finished Icebreaker, had so much fun with it. I'm excited to have our final discussion and argue in a very kind way why I love this book and why it should be rated more than not super great for a lot of people in the book club. But mwah, chef's kiss, I loved it. The audiobook was really good, would recommend that as well. And it was a little bit long, I will say, but once I got into it, I was into it and I could not stop reading it. So overall, so much fun with this one. Again, love Nate. Anastasia grew on me a lot, which is great. Nate is just a perfect book boyfriend, and I love him. So that is it for this reading vlog. Yet another Mending Hearts book club monthly pick done, vlog done. So excited to get this one uploaded and yeah, chat about the book some more with the people in the book club. If you're not already a part of our book club and you love reading romance and you want to join a new book club, the Instagram and Discord for the Mending Hearts book club will be in my description down below. Feel free to join our server. I love chatting with these people. We do live sprints. Our new thing is doing live sprints once a month for our book club picks. So we did do Icebreaker reading sprints this month, which again were a blast. So keep an eye out for some more live sprints in April for Fair Catch by Candy Steiner. They're going to be so much fun. Again, cannot wait to pick up this book. I've heard the best things about it. So yes, that is all that I have for this book club reading vlog. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.